What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Weird News Wednesdays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the strangest news stories from around the world. We talk about the news that the real news is too afraid to talk about. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, how's it going?
Quite stressed, to be honest, Connor.
Oh, no.
I briefly mentioned...
Can I just say, we've had a 5-minute conversation before the recording began, and not once did stress come up, so please.
Well, look, what happened was, and I'm telling it on mic because it's an interesting thing that happened to me, is I was getting everything set to record, ready to do Weird News Wednesdays with my best pal, and then the smoke alarm starts going. Now, I've not cooked or turned anything on all day. So I
haven't cooked in years.
I'm an Uber Eats stan, so I am. But, so the smoke alarm's going, I'm there batting it with a fucking tea towel trying to deal with things. And then,
is tea towel universal, by the way?
Imagine a small, a dish towel? Is it a dish towel? A tea towel? I don't know.
A towel, but smaller.
If you can wrap your minds around that, listeners. And so I get desperate, because this is like half an hour ago, by the way. So we are due to record. And this went on for about 20 minutes. So I just take the smoke alarm off the roof. I take the batteries out of it. Safest thing to do in the situation, I think you'll agree. And then I still hear a faint beeping. And I'm like, am I gone mad? Does anyone else hear this? Turns out my neighbour downstairs, his smoke alarm was going off. Because he had left something on the hob and then left the house. It was a whole thing. Yeah,
but he'd set a few small uncontrolled fires, as we do.
And then left them unattended, as is encouraged.
He had some hobbies to take part in.
Well, don't we all? And so now, what happened, I've learned that the smoke alarms for both houses are connected to each other.
Oh.
So if one of us burns toast, everyone wakes up at 3 a.m. And then, what I've also learned is that the smell of burning plastic will rise through a house. So, I'm a little bit loopy right now, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to have a real fun Weird News together.
You know what, this is somebody's first episode of Weird News, and I really cannot think of a better intro to just the terrible show you are about to witness.
No, the show is fine. It's one of the hosts is drastically impaired at the minute.
At the minute. Never before or since, but at the minute. I was just sniffing plastics for fun before this, but now...
Just recreationally, you know.
So, Shaun, this is Weird News Wednesday. What do we do here?
You have spent the week gathering all of the weirdest news stories from around the world. You're about to read all of those stories out to me, a man apparently too busy huffing solvents to look at any weird news.
Yes, is that the FBI?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, be cool, guys, be cool.
Be chill. So, Shaun, we are going to start straight away this week because I found a few stories this week, and some are actually callbacks to previous stories. Not callbacks, updates, I should say.
Okay,
previous
things
stories.
have happened since we talked about it.
Exactly. Okay. But we're starting this week with the luckiest man in Chile, as he has done something that we've all wanted to do, because this might be the dream scenario.
Oh.
Man who was accidentally paid 286 times his salary resigns and disappears.
I mean, yeah. That's exactly... Hang on. What I'm going to do, and I'm not going to announce numbers, I'm going to do a quick multiplication of the day job here. 286? Is that what's going on?
286 by 0 is...
Oh, I'd be fucking gone, man. You wouldn't see me for dust.
It doesn't even matter what you're on, but 206 times multiplied by that.
Like, not a hope. You would, like... How did this happen? How did they fuck up that bad?
A man in Chile has legged it after he was accidentally paid 286 times his normal salary. The banking error occurred last month, with the man promising his boss that he would return what was overpaid to him.
Yeah, don't worry. No, I'll get it back to you. No, these things happen, I understand.
It's all good. The money was just rested in my bank account.
It would fucking crush me to see that amount of money in my bank account and then have to send all of it back, bar 1 month's pay.
But instead of actually paying it back, he quit his job and has vanished from sight. Nobody can find him.
They let him quit. Like, they let him hand in his notice.
I don't know if it's a situation where he gave a 2-week notice. I think it was just he stopped coming in.
He was no longer at that job anymore.
He was no longer present anymore for them to, where is he? Now, look, most people probably would do the same thing, but the company accidentally paid him around 165,000, or no, is it 165 million Chilean pesos instead of his usual salary of 500,000 pesos.
Jesus.
So, for those playing at home, that's about 148 grand he got paid in one go.
And he just bounced then.
Obviously, it's Chile, so they're probably getting underpaid by quite a lot, but 148 grand in Chile goes
a lot further.
It will go a lot further in terms of what you can get.
Yeah, because if it's 286 times what you usually get,
whatever you get paid, it doesn't matter.
I don't blame the man at all. I feel like if that ever happens, if someone at a company fucks up that bad, I think you should get the money. Unless I'm the one that fucks up, in which case I'm very, very sorry.
Guys, let's take a chill pill. I think we all made mistakes.
Let's all calm down. Sean he had huffed so much plastic at that point, he didn't know what he was saying.
So he normally gets paid £450 a month for a month's work, but he got paid £260,000 in one go.
No, there's not a judge in the land. So
what's the conversion rate to what we're looking at is really the question in terms of inflation.
Have you tried to segue weird news into an economics podcast?
I'm just trying to bring up the situation affecting us all these days, Sean, and now I'm bringing us to financial corner with Connor.
All right, well, Electric Ireland announced price increases of 9.8% coming, but that's not
I have this
funny.
graph, it just says we're fucked.
He actually made that graph, listeners. He's got a whiteboard set up in the place.
I have a big stick. We're fucked.
Well, why not go out laughing? Which this man definitely did, by the way.
Yes.
So, did he take it? I assume because he hardly took it all out of the bank and just went on the run. He must still have his card or something.
It's me, I'm taking gold coins, I'm taking pool, I'm taking Scrooge McDuck, and I'm taking you send Instagram videos of you doing it to your boss.
But would you... You're talking about Scrooge McDuck diving into a big pool of gold, right?
Yes, exactly.
I'm not sure that's what I would do to... the person I just stole a load of money from. Sounds like you're antagonising him at that point.
Do you think he did like the Tinder swindler thing where he just kept being like, yeah, I'll get back to you. No, it's resting. It's probably something to do with the bank, man. Honestly, it's
transfers.
Coming.
It's a big transfer. It's a big transfer to make. It's not going to be easy.
Like, it'll be there on Monday, and if it's not there on Monday, you ring me first thing that morning, and I will sort it out.
Here's a situation, right? What if this man was he was one day from death? Okay? And this isn't even funny. This is just me seeing what happened.
Okay, sorry, go on.
I just think to preface this with this isn't funny.
This isn't even funny. We should have said it at the start of the show.
So, say this man is one day from death, right? And this happens, and all that money ends up in his account. And before the company realises this guy dies, and all of his assets get left to his next of kin, then do they have to give the money back? See, it's not funny, but it's interesting, isn't it?
I think you would. I think through some legal loophole that it was there illegally, so it's technically not his or some shit.
But doesn't the law protect the little guy, Connor?
I'm going to go back to the graph.
Oh.
Do you see the graph behind me?
Sorry, can you point at it with that big stick one more time?
We're fucked.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. The court system is fucked.
They're taking that off him and his cold, dead-hearted ass second.
So... where's he gone is the real question.
Nobody knows is the thing. So according to the financial news, the man worked at one of the largest producers of cold cut meats in Chile. When Human Resources noticed the major banking error, they reached out to their employee to discuss the mistake in payment. The report says that the man... he agreed to go to his bank the next morning. Honestly, the next morning.
Can't stress this enough. He's not doing it today.
I'm not going to do it now. It's already 5, lads. It's already 5. I'm going home. I'll do it tomorrow morning before I come into work, and we'll sort it out then because it'll be all done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he says, I'm going to sort this out tomorrow morning. I'm going straight to my bank, first thing, and you'll see me with a big bag full of with like a dollar sign at the front of it tomorrow morning, standing outside. And he just needed to sort out the repayment. Now, tomorrow morning came, Sean, and you're never going to believe he did not show up to work.
Oh, no, and presumably HR is sweating at this point, right?
Do you think it got to like 9:05 and they were like, maybe he missed his bus?
Maybe it's a long line in the bank today.
9:30. It's a really long line. You know, it's a big amount of money. Like, it takes a while for the transaction to go through.
10 o'clock, they're like calling the bank, being like, "Oh, was there happen to be a man who looked very?"
Have you seen John? Have you seen John?
You know him. He has a look in his eye like he's eager to give a load of money back.
His employers were, and this might surprise you, unable to contact him despite trying multiple attempts to call, text and WhatsApp the man. But if that's you or me, that phone's going off and you're buying a new phone with a new phone number.
Oh, I've already gotten the iPhone 20 at this point with all of my millions.
That was their last interaction with their newly rich staffer. So apparently, however, on June 2nd, on June 2nd, he resigned from his position via his lawyer. He sent his lawyer to resign for him.
That's a ballsy move, because the lawyer is clearly like, nah, we can probably get you to keep it. Like, this is probably your money, it's be fine.
Because if he goes to the lawyer, he's like, do I have a leg to stand on? I'll pay you shit tons of money, man. Like, if the average rate is £450 a month, I have 260,000. I have $250,000 sitting in my bank.
That's the thing, and like it could be a thing in the contract that like the you know, and it was put in to protect the company. It's like, oh, the amount that goes into the bank account for the wages belongs to the employee or something like that. Like if there's a wording like that in the contract or anything like that, he's set. Legally, it's his, and I want this man to have this money just to set a precedent.
So apparently the average minimum, or Chile's minimum wage, comes in at $434 a month.
Wow.
That's their minimum wage. So he was getting paid about $545 per month if we're translating it over. So by that logic, I mean, I don't know how much more is that. I'm still trying to work out the conversion rate, but there's somebody smart that's already done that for us.
Yeah. Like, and it's even not about like what it's worth in like euros. Say, it's just like this man was making this amount of money, and overnight that was multiplied, you know, by 280.
Well, I mean, like the way my brain worked it out was like, oh well, 2 months for him is $1,000. And so he got paid 265,000. So he got, that's,
yeah.
In my brain, that's how I worked it out. I was like, oh, $1,000 is a lot for 2 months. And then you're like, oh wait, so he's getting $6,000 a year, but he's got 265,000 in his bank account.
So he's set for upwards of 3 years, I would say. His
children's children.
He's going to bury it. It's going to be like Brewster's Millions, and he's going to bury it somewhere. And he's just going to leave a load of clues around Chile for people to find it.
I'm trying to think. So yeah, 60 would be 10 years. So then 20 years would be 120.
This is riveting audio content.
He's set for 40, so 47 years.
47 years.
Like
it's 47 years. How old is he? He's probably like what? 30? Maybe like 35?
12? Oh, yeah. He's going to go back working when he's 60.
Oh, just before retirement and everything. Oh, no.
So, Sean, do you think this man should have even gone back with the lawyer? I'm thinking just on the run.
I think you buy a new identity at that point.
Yeah.
Like.
At that point, you buy a new human, buy a new body.
Yeah, transcend physical space. Put yourself in the cloud, you know? I don't know how much things cost.
We're very poor.
If someone could buy me 2 9-volt batteries for some smoke alarms.
You keep that out of that. For safety reasons, I'd keep it out of fire alarms. You're never going to set any fires.
Sure, I certainly won't, do you know?
Yeah.
And all will happen is it'll interrupt weird news, do you know? So it's probably safer in the long run for the
Only
recording.
you could prevent fire alarms going off. Take out your fire batteries.
Sorry, I know I'm still on this, but the way you take a fire alarm off the roof in this house is that you have to just fucking jam a screwdriver in and slide it off. It's insane.
You don't want to accidentally hit the batteries.
No, it's straight into the lithium.
It just continues going off as you smoke. As the smoke coming from your body comes up.
I was now alarmed and on fire, I will say.
Shaun, we're going to have to move on from the man who achieved all of his dreams to another mystery. And it's another monster mystery that
shit.
you know I love, that I only bring to you because it annoys you so much that it cheers me up.
But I always solve them every time, so where's the challenge anymore?
You have a 100% record.
100% win rate.
So we've had Owl Man, we've had Dog Man, we've had, is that it? Dog Men?
There was a black monk, I think, at one point. There was a ghost lady that said fuck off to people. Yes. Dead woman's ditch, was that it?
Yeah. Well, I have an eyewitness interview, Shaun, with a man who may have seen the next big thing in Monsters. Because we currently don't have a full name. But what we do have is information. We have eyewitness information, Shaun, from a very valuable source. Man who witnessed mysterious creature drag geese underwater has never seen anything like it.
I know exactly what this is. It's an otter. Otters do that. I saw an otter take a duck once. A goose is a small step up.
Okay, well, will we move on to the next story?
Yeah, if you don't mind, because actually I'm done with this. You know, I'm not... You're trying to portray an innocent little carnivorous river otter as some kind of monster.
I'm saying, look, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I think there's value on both sides, Shaun. But what I'm saying is that there are fears that an ominous creature is lurking in the water, attacking geese.
Okay. I'll hear you out. I'll hear what this person saw, and we'll go from there, and I'll debunk it then.
Now look, there's obviously a long history of people seemingly, maybe lacking in certain areas, banging on about mysterious, unverifiable underwater beasts, Shaun. Now, look, I'll happily admit that, but this is one, it's not unverifiable. I have an interview. Numerous people have reported witnessing geese getting dragged from the surface and into the depths of the water. Christian Grammer, who has been skippering boats in Ullswater for decades, says he's never seen anything like it, says Christian.
Okay, so Christian has the experience on the water. I'm also, just for reference, I'm imagining Christian in some kind of big yellow overcoat with a yellow hat on him. He's got a big beard and a pipe made out of a corn cob. I need everyone on the same page.
I thought of the guys from the Donegal catch ad with the knitted sweater.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good.
Speaking on BBC Breakfast, that's right. This man's on the BBC.
The BBC took it. If you had said this morning, I would have been all out. But now that the BBC is in.
Oh, you're back in. He recalled the geese were sort of flapping their way across the water together, and one of them just disappeared. All three of us, my 2 crew members and I, we saw it. We all looked at each other as if to say, did you see that? We looked back, and the other one went, literally just 10 to 20 seconds later, as in the geese. The other goose goose vanished.
There was only one goose left at that point.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and this was in the sea or in like a lake or a river?
In the lake.
Okay. I'm putting the pieces together here.
There was no disturbance on the water, he said. I've never seen anything like it in all of my time here. Wayne Owens sounded the alarm on social media and warned people not to let their dogs in the water because they could be next shot. They could be next.
So he took it upon himself to be like, listen, not to cause panic, but there's a monster in the lake that will kill your dog.
Not to cause panic, but your dogs are already dead.
It's too late to save them. It may be too late to save yourselves.
The 61-year-old who works on the lake and has been coming to it for over 40 years for open water swimming and triathlon events. He took to Facebook, Shaun, to warn of a shocking sighting. On the 23rd of June, he wrote, "Beware on Ullswater," beware by the way, all caps. Nice. "Beware on Ullswater today. I saw a full-size goose taken off the top of water and dragged underneath. I worked on the lake.
Right.
This was witnessed by also people working on a boat with me. This is the second one I have seen this year." Then all caps at the end, Shaun. "Not a joke." Oh, fuck.
Thank God he clarified right at the end there, because it was a hoot up until he said that.
Up until that point, I was thinking my next stand-up routine is going to have to be a bit changed.
Just thinking, Jesus, I'll need a replacement knee after all this slapping I'm doing. But instead, it's quite a harrowing message that this fisherman is saying. I do want to say that it could just be something regular under the water that hunts geese. Could be the goose got caught on a piece of plant tied to a rock, you know? Well,
here's the thing, Shaun, because he said around 10-12 a.m, the grey goose, which was maybe 10 to 12 pounds, was dragged backwards, not to be seen again after 5 minutes. And then in a post the following day, he went on to claim that he had since that post, seen 2 small grey geese, maybe 5 pounds each, that could not fly properly, with the first taken down immediately and the second within 15 seconds of that. It was a fucking double hit operation, Shaun.
It might have been 2 otters this time. I'm fairly locked in on the otter thing, namely because I've seen it happen. Like, I've seen an otter take a duck out of a lake.
My favourite bit is at the end of it, he goes, a lot of people thought this was a joke. All caps again. This is not a joke.
I can't stress this enough, people. This is serious business.
He's like in Jaws. He's like, lads, this is not a joke.
This is real.
There's a monster.
So what, like, it's not like a Loch Ness monster, though. It's more like a small monster that hunts little game birds.
Yeah, he says he's even contacted the Lake District Nation Park Authority. Fuck
Jesus Christ.
Imagine saying you're from there. Where do you work? I work in the Lake District National Park Authority. Have you ever heard of the LDNPA?
Oh, the LDNPA.
Oh,
of course.
Yeah, of course. And I have tried contacting Environments Agency today. Once again, this is no joke.
Does he end the emails?
Laughing at him?
Does he end the emails to the agencies with "this is not a joke" as well?
I can only assume, and it's all caps all the time. It's because it's not a joke, Shaun. People keep laughing at him, but these geese are going missing.
No, I was trying to think of a goose joke there, but there is none. They're going down. Oh, they're going down, Connor. Goose down. Little soft goose feathers down.
That is okay.
That's foul.
Oh, better. You got it back. Do not let your dog swim here, in my opinion, he said. Locals are speculating that the mystery goose killer could be a non-native species, such as a giant catfish, or even maybe a crocodile.
They just release a fucking crocodile in the Lake District.
But here we go, Shaun, and I think this might be the best bit of journalism you've ever done. Wildlife expert Kevin O'Hara reckons the culprit might not be so exotic.
Oh.
When I first read it, I immediately thought otter, he said.
What? Come on. What did I tell you? Me and Kevin O'Hara knows what's up.
Kevin and me, we've been chatting, and he knows.
I'm Kevin's main source, I will say.
I would stand by that, really, because a big dog otter is a big animal, you know? Yeah. You're looking at old money, 25 pounds in weight, and they feed on waterfowl quite a lot.
There you go. It's just a big otter. I listened to a radio documentary once about a massive otter that used to live in Limerick that no one saw.
I have got to say, that must be even more boring than our shows.
No, they interviewed locals, and it was just a load of owl lads talking about a big
It's
otter.
Irish owl lads.
Yeah,
fair enough, I'm back in.
We're back in. Kevin O'Hara was there.
Kevin was there. Not understanding a word these lads are saying.
So Kevin is like, it's a big 25-pound dog otter, which I'm just going to look up a quick scale of dog otter to, I don't know, a regular otter.
But
yeah, it's big.
What about old money?
Oh, tis large.
Tis a halfpenny large.
So what's the plan then? Do they just, because if it's a big otter, then it's just nature and you can't interfere. Attenborough
Yeah,
rules.
but what happens if it's a big goose monster killer?
Then what
we have to come up with a cool name for the other monster it could possibly be, because otter isn't as exciting as maybe we need a headline. We need a snappy animal headline that
Goose
could be killing
Guzzler.
Goose Guzzler. It's a goose guzzler.
It's the Lake District Goose Guzzler.
And he's been living in the lake for years. He's half man, but his family died in the lake. Car crash, and
classic.
He decided to swim into the lake to die with them, just so he would always be bonded to them. But just as he was about to die, a goose shat in his head.
And he was like, this is insult to injury. I thought you were going to say a goose killed his parents, but no, a goose just shat on him when he was sad.
A goose was like strangling his child as they were going down.
But the shit on his head, that was the final straw.
That was the final thing, and he's like, right, I'm going to live my days in this lake and take them out one by one.
And I'm going to guzzle each and every one of these geese.
I'm going to goosel each and every one.
No, Connor. No.
What? That's what he would say.
No, he wouldn't say that.
He would say that.
No, he wouldn't. He can't speak. He's lived in the lake for years. He's adopted.
But you said he said guzzle.
No. He thought that in his goose head.
You were thinking thought bubble.
Yeah. Like Beano-style thought bubble.
I was thinking monologue, so no, you're dead right. I'm in the wrong here. No,
That's
you're
okay.
right too.
That's okay.
Sean, what do we do here? Do we just shotgun the whole lake until an otter dies?
I love otters, so I'm like, I'd take an otter over a goose any day, quite frankly. So I say, let them have it. Let them fight.
I'm thinking nuke. I'm thinking we nuclear bomb the lake.
You want to nuke the Lake District?
Yeah.
Very, very right wing of you, Connor. But geese have two wings.
We're going to have to sacrifice a few geese to get rid of the otter. If the otter is that big, 25 pounds, Sean, we don't have anything to stop that.
Connor, with a nuke, you're going to sacrifice all the geese, though.
Everywhere.
Yeah, in like a 50-mile radius.
Interesting, okay.
Not solving the problem.
A few small grenades, but effective grenades.
You want to lob grenades into a lake and hope
Just
that
a
they hit
few.
the otters.
Yeah.
I mean, that does sound like fun. I hope it doesn't hit any otters, but throwing grenades in a lake, I mean, come on.
I love the idea that Christian Grammer's out there, or like Wayne Owens, the old guy, and he's like, this is not a joke, okay? For fucking I want Wayne to meet up with Kevin, and I want them to have a chat with Wayne constantly saying, Kevin, this is not a joke. I've seen it.
I understand that, but it's probably an otter.
It's not a joke.
Stop
Kevin.
cracking wise, Kevin.
Stop laughing at my pain.
Pulls out a small chalkboard and drags his nails across it. You know, standard fisherman stuff.
Standard fisherman stuff. Why do fishermen have chalkboards?
So they can plan how they catch the fish, Connor.
Ah, of course.
Because they have to be like, look, and there's the line and it goes into the water.
Yeah.
And then right back out again.
The next season of what is that, like the world's deadliest seas? You're actually on that, just like lads. I mean, what we do, just like throw it in, up it goes, fish is in our hands.
There you go. Here's a big net. What you want to do? Put that in the water, leave it a bit, pull it out. There you go.
I walked in, actually. My dad was watching YouTube like a few weeks ago, and I walked in, and he was watching videos of a guy catching fish in a fucking lake, right? Some dude who's like a magician at catching fish, right?
Right.
Just amazing. And I was like, why are you watching this? And he's like, look at the size of the next fucker he pulls out. And
is your dad into fishing, or?
No. Not really. So I was very confused, and so then he walks up and the guy's fishing and he pulls out like 4 fish in 6 minutes, but he just keeps throwing them back in, and I was just like, what is the point of this show? That he's got like 7 different rods constantly around him. Is he testing out
the rods and he's like giving reviews of the rods?
And then he pulls out one of the fish, and the fish is like the size of him, and he's like, yeah, this is probably the biggest I've ever caught. And he just fucks it back into the water.
Well, like, if you're fishing, you're hurting the fish anyway, like, aren't you? Like, go all the way, says I.
Grenades!
Finish the job. Yeah, redneck fishing.
Finish the job, pull the fish out, just pull out a small knife. It's gotta be done.
No, I just give you like boxing gloves and I'm like, you do it. You finish it.
So Shaun, we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this is the update we were all waiting for. It's something that kind of scared us, kind of shocked us the first time around.
Right.
Now, a few months ago, you might remember that we covered a story of a latex freak, a latex pervert, Shaun. Gimp Man himself.
Gimp Man was terrorising a local town, wasn't that it?
So there's a man who dressed up in a gimp suit who was just running around at night scaring random people in a small town.
Yeah,
it was shocking. He didn't do anything. He just kind of walked around looking a bit fucking weird.
Did he look in people's windows at one point? Is that something? Or was that a bit that we made up?
I think that might have been a bit. It's very hard to mix it up. I know the original story is people just encountered him on the street at like 1 o'clock in the morning. But he never did anything. He never laid one hand on anybody. But it's even worse. That adds an element of mystery. What's he want?
What's he getting out of this?
What's he getting out of this? It's a man in a gimp suit that they affectionately called Gimp Man.
Okay, and what's he up to now? Is he back?
The headline says, fears grow as Gimp Man has returned after latex pervert ambushes couple walking home.
My goodness. Like, funny how the Gimp Man sightings return once things start warming up, Connor.
Over the winter he was rested, but he wasn't. Didn't we cover this in March?
I think we might have done, in fact. But winter's or summer's worse to be wearing a fucking PVC jumpsuit.
Oh, it's got to be warm. But that's why he's going out at night.
I suppose get the nice cool air. Yeah.
A very sinister man dressed head to toe in a gimp suit has returned to terrorise sleepy Somerset villages. Yatton and Claversham have been plagued by the latex-clad pest since 2018, Shaun, who appears late at night to terrify the locals.
I think we discussed this, like, the fact that it's going on since 2018, he's like either a vigilante or a mascot at this point.
See, here's the thing, though. Because in the previous years, Shaun, and especially last time, they thought they had him. Because despite arresting 2 people in connection with the case, police are still yet to identify or stop the man known as Gimp Man.
Right. So, well, what if it's a situation where like the Riddler at the end of the Batman, like everyone's Gimp Man.
Everyone's Gimp Man.
And it's like a Captain My Captain situation.
It now appears a shadowy figure has returned yet again to claim another victim. Ciara Elston and her boyfriend were walking home after getting out of a taxi in Yatton at around 1 a.m. on Sunday when, much to their surprise, Shaun, Gimp Man emerged from the shadows and started walking around in circles in front of them with his arms outstretched.
Why, though? Why? What did they do when they saw this?
She had not been worrying about someone popping out of the darkness, as she was with her boyfriend, obviously, but he suddenly shouted, "Ciara, there's a man," as they approached the roundabout. And by the time we saw him, he was very close, and my boyfriend just told me to run.
Oh, so the boyfriend was just like, "You just get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here, this could kick off. This man's walking in a circle in a gimp suit.
I'm about to finish the job.
I'm about to fuck this dude up." So, look, Ciara has said that the experience was pretty scary.
I'd say so. I wouldn't enjoy that.
She said, "I've got the image in my head of him walking around in circles and staring into the distance."
It is quite sinister to meet at 1 o'clock in the morning, you know? Is he on something, do you think, or is he just fucking with people?
But I think there's a level of planning that goes into that, because he hasn't been caught. So if he's on something, I think that would make him more likely to have already been brought down. 2018, this man's been around.
That's true. That is true. I think they're doing it wrong, though. Like how they're looking for, because I would say most times if someone is dressing up in a gimp suit, there's someone else involved in a position of power, like a Sith situation.
Oh,
you know? There's
yes.
a master and apprentice, you know, or sub as it's called in the community.
Yes.
And so someone's sending this dude out to do all these things. So you need to find out who's like nearby looking at Gimp Man do all of these things. And that's how you catch them.
This is the 16th time the mysterious man has been sighted in the area since 2018. And, I mean, that's quite a lot to not be caught, ever, not once.
Imagine doing 16 crimes over the course of 4 years and just getting away with it.
You would just do more crimes.
You'd be encouraged to do more and bigger crime, I would say.
A police search turned up nothing after Sunday's incident. I mean, what was it going to turn up? The suspect left no trace at the scene.
Are you imagining, by the way, the town from Hot Fuzz?
Yes, that would be the thing that in my head. Yeah, of course.
I'm sure it's a fine little police service, but I don't think they're prepared for Gimp Man. I don't think they have the resources to look after this.
By the way, Ciara's father, Steve, went to Facebook and...
it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. No, he said, last night my daughter and her boyfriend were approached by Gimp Man at around 1 a.m, which implies to me that people just know him as Gimp Man, not a man in a Gimp suit.
No, the whole town is aware of Gimp Man at this point.
He also said, Steve then said, could you private message me if you have any suspicions as to who he is?
Steve's going to sort this out on his own. He's going to get a little gang together. And
a little bit of vigilante justice.
I mean, he wants revenge. Steve wants revenge on Gimp Man. Unless Steve is Gimp Man. In which case,
it's a double bluff.
It's a double bluff. It's a self-report. He's got the ultimate alibi. He's
done 15 crimes to just do this one, to get away with this one. Who's going to suspect me?
Because he doesn't like the daughter's boyfriend, I bet you.
Yes. Now, the daughter's boyfriend, I will say, did not get harmed in any way. There was no violence whatsoever. Gimp Man showed up. Gimp Man left. He was just there walking in a circle. Just...
objectively minding his own business, you know?
Well, I suppose not really minding his own business. He's walking around near them with his arms outstretched, looking into the distance, just being a bit eerie.
But did they stumble upon Gimp Man, or did he seek them out? You know?
Actually, as his lawyer, that I would remember that phrasing. Did they walk up to his end of the street, or did he walk up to them?
Gimp Man was doing his usual exercises, arm stretches and vapid walking. And along come two strangers, and then the boyfriend is like, run. And then, I assume, what happened after she ran, or did they run together?
I think they ran together. I think the boyfriend ran with her.
It?
Yeah, it's a little bit romantic.
We love here on the pod.
Gimp Man was last sighted in 2021, actually, by a couple watching TV who spotted a masked man lying in their garden, watching them through the doors.
Okay, so I was right.
They chased him away. You were right, actually.
He was looking in windows, okay.
Yeah.
And it was 2021, so he is like all seasons then, because it must have been like November or December that we were talking about.
Prior to that, he was last spotted in 2019 when a woman claimed the man wearing a full black rubbery outfit started breathing heavily.
I mean, it's a lot of rubber to be wearing, Dolores.
It's weighing you down.
I'd like to see you try breathing in a rubber
Now, we
outfit.
do actually have an image of Gimp Man that I always like to bring up whenever we have this, because the image was taken by Abby, who was one of his, and they say in the article, one of his victims, that she took a picture of him as he was near her.
Here we go. And that's him.
There it is.
That's Gimp Man. All black leather suit, red X's on the eyes and a red smiley face. I will say, he's just wearing regular fucking socks in that photo.
Is it like running socks?
It's like regular like cotton socks with a little orange toe on them.
Would it add a little bit of menace if you had odd socks on? But like those odd, like, you know, those stylish odd socks. Obviously people wear
the happy socks you get for Christmas every year.
Yeah, like you obviously actors nowadays, they're like always wearing odd socks, but like they're really bright and colourful. So they're like, you're gonna see these, but I'm a bit odd.
I'm kind of quirky, guys.
Yeah, I'm quirky, but they are bright yellow, so you're definitely fucking seeing them.
So yeah, no, like they're not even like that. I think that would be a bit more. I think that would make him more relatable, Gimp Man. I think like he needs to lean into it. Crocs. If he was wearing Crocs,
that's game over.
That's game over. He's built for comfort and speed at that point.
Yeah, I feel like this story would not be covered here if he had actually done anything to anyone.
No, if anyone was hurt or traumatised or anything like that.
I think there have been a few people that have come out and said they have been slightly traumatised by him, having seen him in the street.
He is unsettling. He's
unsettling is the word I would use. Now, look, I don't want to put people's trauma and say that they're lessened, but I'm saying he hasn't harmed anyone, and he also hasn't attempted to harm anyone. So we can only assume it's just a weirdo walking around in a suit, breathing heavily for the crack.
Yeah, why doesn't anyone just like tackle him? Like, next time he comes up to someone, just run at him. What's he going to do?
Well, he's in his Crocs now, so I mean, he's going to be speedy.
I mean, no, but he's got to switch into speed mode first. He's got to turn that band around.
He's got to turn the flame stickers on.
Yeah, it's a long process to go into speed mode on Crocs.
So Gimp Man is out and about. He's struck again, Shaun. Another two victims have been taken. I'd like to see what Steve, Ciara's father, does in the coming weeks.
I would also like to know. I also have a question of how do you punish Gimp Man? Because I mean, maybe you can't.
Maybe that's what he wants.
Maybe that's the ultimate end goal here.
That's what he's looking for.
I would hate that, officer. No.
Oh no! Lock me up.
The handcuffs. Oh no!
They bring him out to a field and they're just like, nobody's here. You won't be punished. You're free to go wherever you want.
Yeah. God bless you. Have a lovely time.
You bastards.
How dare you?
I want to cover a small story that's occurring that I feel like me and you already know about just because it's in like a bit of the movie world. But people might not know about it, Shaun. And that is what's going on with Minions: The Rise of Gru currently.
Oh yeah, this thing.
It's a strange story, but what I do have is UK cinemas have started to ban fans in suits from seeing Minions: The Rise of Gru. Now, can you maybe let the people in who wouldn't be as into cinema stuff as we would be? What the fuck is going on here?
So there was this thing on TikTok, and it was like me and the boys getting ready to see Minions: Rise of Gru, and this was in the weeks leading up to the Minions: Rise of Gru release. And it was
Minions, by the way, The Rise of Gru is the third sequel to Despicable Me.
Yes, that's it. And so this like blew up on TikTok, became a big meme. When the film finally came out, there was loads of videos of people actually like mainly like boys like 15, around 15, 16 kind of age, who
they call themselves the Gentle Minions.
The Gentle Minions. They go to these cinemas in suits, they bring bananas a lot of the time, and they watch the film and generally cause a ruckus. All while videoing it to get TikTok views. And it was a couple at first, and then it just fucking exploded. And now everyone is doing it to the point that cinemas have had to start banning if you are wearing a suit. But now the game plan is you go in wearing a tracksuit, you get into the cinema, turns out you're wearing a suit under your tracksuit.
Ah, yes.
So they've improvised, adapted and overcame. What's funniest about this is that Sony released Morbius off the back of a meme. They re-released it and lost a load of money. And Minions, like, they didn't even try. Like, the internet just did this for the Minions
Can
movie.
I just say that Minions won, Independence Day was this week. It was the highest grossing movie of Independence Day.
And at the time when Top Gun Maverick is in cinemas.
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick has made over $1 billion, but Rise of Gru made more money
that weekend.
That
That's absolutely insane. Do you think this is the most genius level marketing strategy anyone has ever come up with for a film? Or do you think it's an accident?
I think it's a joke that went too far, and I think now they're going to have to pile in on it because otherwise they're mad. Why they're getting banned is because they're apparently causing a bit of a ruckus. They're screaming, they're shouting, they're clapping loudly, being disruptive.
I've seen some dance parties during the credits. And I also saw one man smuggle in a wheelie bin full of bananas for all of his friends.
So the Odeon cinemas have said, due to a small number of incidents in our cinemas over the weekend, we've had to restrict access in some circumstances. So if they see anyone showing up to Minions in suits, they will not let you in to the cinema.
But then you get the tracksuit game going, and it's even funnier of a TikTok, Connor. Think of the clout. Think of the clout that could happen from this.
I think Sony are looking at this. They're looking at Morbius. They're saying, we get people to dress up like Morbius and go see it.
Yeah. Because if people that don't listen to like Movie Mondays or anything, or like may not know, Sony are bringing out a movie called Kraven the Hunter that, by all accounts, looks terrible. And like they're going to plant like social media seeds of being like, oh, bring a stuffed animal to Kraven the Hunter. And it's just going to be the saddest thing in the world, and I can't
Sony are punching bags over on Movie Mondays just because they're always about 3 months behind what's going on.
Yeah, like, you know, back in the early internet when something would happen, 6 months would pass and then Ellen would have it on her goddamn show.
Yes, it's always like 6 months. Once like somebody on TV starts doing it, it's no longer cool.
Exactly.
But Sony do like that time frame, but even longer.
Yeah, it's only like Sony are still planning a Harlem Shake video, like at this point.
They've just recently gotten into Facebook. They think it's pretty good.
El Muerto is going to do a whole scene where he's planking. It's going to be great.
Microsoft Edge, their favourite thing over at Sony. But yeah, I just wanted to let people know that was occurring because it's fucking weird, and I thought it might be funny to kind of bring it up.
It was. Congratulations, you did it.
And if you haven't seen the videos, I would recommend going to look at them because, I mean, they are ridiculous, but, I mean, it's kind of funny to watch it.
Yeah, I think there's probably like a compilation on YouTube or something of just it's very much boys being boys energy because it's just nonsense and like no one really gets hurt.
Yeah. We're moving on to our next piece of news, Sean, and what I have here is a man who did a job that nobody asked for and has now gone missing. Police looking to identify man who paved driveway in Ontario without permission and then vanished.
This rings the bell. This is a story from like 2 or 3 years ago, but there was a story of a guy who stole a man's driveway brick by brick.
Yes.
What if like he went on some kind of Batman style like vengeance scheme and now he'll just tile someone's driveway for free?
Wellington County are trying to identify a man who they say was involved in an unwanted residential paving incident, which surely has to be the first of its kind.
They had to type up a new document for that report.
The incident happened last week on Ellis Road near the Cambridge City Limit. City Limit? Everyone's favourite limit. Tammy Corrigan told CTV News. Tammy Corrigan's not a real person's name.
That's a made-up news anchor in the cartoon.
A made-up news anchor from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Tammy Corrigan here. That she told the news that her driveway was paved without her permission. She said a man knocked at her door and offered her a discounted rate to do her driveway, to pave her driveway brand new, discounted rate by.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic.
Good start. Nice opening to a conversation.
They discussed the matter, but ultimately Corrigan declined to go ahead with the repaving, stating she did not want the repaving to be done.
Fair enough. End of transaction, you would think.
At the end of the conversation, he said, "I'll call you next week when we're ready to do this," to which she responded, "We'll call you if we decide to do this."
A fair response. But this man really wants to pave this driveway for some reason.
Corrigan went to work the next morning, Shaun. She came home the next night. And as she came home, she found the crew just moving away, having just finished her driveway.
What do you do at that point? Like, do you stop him and say, no, pull it up?
It was only 3/4 of a pave done, as one of the builders said they'd be back tomorrow to finish it.
What? The confusion this poor woman must feel. Is she expected to pay, or...?
The man then offered her to complete the work, and he gave her a $500 discount. So now she only had to pay $7,000. That's a pretty good deal.
Not if you weren't intending to pay it, though. That's not how business works.
Now, Tammy has come out and said, we're not intending to pay him for any of the work that we did not ask for, she said. But then again, the work has been done, Shaun. I feel like these lads, it's just maybe a mix-up. Maybe when she said, I don't want it, what he heard was, I'm going to get the truck out tomorrow. We'll get the cement going. We'll get that paved for you, gal.
But, like, if you went to a barber and were like, hey, how much for a haircut? And he was like, I don't know, 30 quid. And then you said, no, I might leave it. And then he came to your house in the middle of the night and cut your hair. Would you give him 30 quid? 25 quid. That's a sick fade, actually.
The news reached out to Unique Paving and Masonry after speaking with Corrigan, who was the fake company that he gave. An unnamed employee said it was a misunderstanding, adding, we don't just turn up and do this randomly. The company then did not respond to any further requests for an interview.
Presumably whoever's in charge is just like, maybe leave the email off for today.
I think what's happened is a random person has shown up, been like, we'll do it. But he has no connection to that company. And so now they're kind of coming under scrutiny for something that just a crazy person did.
Yeah, who decided this would be funny. I wonder if this will work. And it did.
Just had a load of cement left over and tarmac.
But it's quite... I'd never trust that driveway, do you know? Like, I'd never safely walk...
There's a sinkhole coming.
Something is hidden under that at that point.
There's bodies. Definitely bodies.
There's a locked box with the Da Vinci Code inside. Like, I don't know.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to do at that point. It's one of those, you come home, it's finished. Like... You just kind of have to accept it.
No, it's 3/4 finished.
Oh, it's not even finished. You can't even use it yet.
No. So if you want to finish, you have to pay $7,000, but you didn't want it done in the first place.
Yeah, I had a fine driveway before this.
They just took away your driveway.
Well, they gave you 3/4 of a brand new one.
Yeah, but like it's like they kidnapped your wife and then they gave her a new dress but cut off her finger and it's like, here, we'll give it back to you for $7,000.
Yes.
Win-win.
Clear. We're up a dress. So we're finishing off weird news this week about Florida Man with one of his greatest capers, as Florida Man poses as Disney World cast member, then steals $10,000 R2-D2 droid.
This is a heist that he has planned for a while, I feel.
A Central Florida man was arrested after deputies said he posed as a Walt Disney World cast member and then took a Star Wars R2-D2 droid in the hopes that Disney security would hire him.
As like well, if I was able to get in,
he's
anyone
an inside
can.
Man. We need him on the inside. He'll be our secret strength.
He catch me if you can does. I can't believe
exactly. The Central Florida man was arrested after deputies said he posed as the Walt Disney cast member. David Proudfoot, fuck me,
Jesus.
David Proudfoot,
Come on, man.
Is facing a grand theft charge and a charge of obstruction by false information. The county sheriff's office says last month deputies were called to the Swan Reserve Hotel by Disney security. When they arrived, they made contact with Proudfoot, who they say was wearing beige work pants, an orange work vest and a Disney name tag. He reportedly identified himself as David Rogers at first and said he worked in the receiving division of the Yacht Club Resort.
It's all adding up, I assume. I don't know anything about Disneyland. But
The affidavit then states that Disney security stopped Proudfoot because he was seen by hotel security pushing a cart on the property, and it looked a bit suspicious.
Because isn't Disney one of those places where you don't see any maintenance going on?
No.
Like all the rubbish is like sucked into tubes underground and all that shit.
The officer offered to help Proudfoot with the cart. And at this point he's like, no, fuck off.
No, I don't need
I'm
it.
Fine.
And R2-D2's underneath it just fucking whistling.
And he says that he appeared confused as to how to get to the loading dock and what the hotel's proper procedures are. That's when the deputies called the hotel because, I mean, he's meant to work there, but he doesn't know where the loading dock is or any of the procedures surrounding the hotel in which he works.
He's very new, Connor. He's fresh off the boat here.
Proudfoot reportedly then told deputies that part of his job is to move items from one location to the other, and that his boss's name is James McDaniels. Security said they have no record of anyone named David Rogers or James McDaniels ever working there.
It's not looking good for David, I'll be honest here. I admire the balls of it though, to just be like, no, this is what's going on. Do you feel he was confident saying it, or was he panicky and suspicious the whole time?
I think he starts confident, and then the more questions he gets, the more he loses his footing.
He starts going in circles.
Yeah, because I think you start off with confidence is key. Yeah, I'm meant to be here. Of course I'm meant to be here. My manager is here.
This is where I belong, guys.
Yeah,
I'm in the receiving division of the yacht club.
I'm in the receiving division and I should be here. I work here. Did you not see my orange vest? So obviously I work here. And then someone's like, well, who's your boss? My boss is...
Walt Disney. Michael Mouse.
It reminds me of Homer Simpson. It's like, hello, I'm Mr. Burns, and I would like to collect my mail. Okay, Mr. Burns, what's your first name? I don't know.
Very similar to that.
So Proudfoot had a wallet on him and asked if he had his ID in his wallet. Proudfoot showed him the ID, which revealed his real name. So the deputy was like, what's your name? David Rogers. Can I see your ID? Yes, you can.
But bear in mind, you're dyslexic.
I changed my own name yesterday.
This is a fake ID.
Yeah, I have a fake ID. I'm actually 17. Proudfoot reportedly admitted to moving the R2-D2 droid from the third floor of the hotel to an unknown location. Okay? I admit that, but I wasn't stealing it.
I just wanted to move him about a bit.
Yeah. He moved it because he had an application for a security job pending at Walt Disney World and wanted to show weaknesses in the security of the resort in the hope of securing a better paying job.
If he thought of that in the moment, that's not a bad little excuse, you know?
It's genius.
It's like, I just wanted to show him that I could do it better.
So he also then said, he finishes it off by telling the deputy that I have no intention, officer, of taking items off the property. Okay? I have no intention of doing that. I was just showing weaknesses so that I could get a job.
I mean, they can't prove he was going to steal it, is the thing.
I mean, he did steal it, though.
But they can't, there's no proof. Like,
it used to be on the third floor of the hotel. And
yeah. Well, he has his little story. He has his little story that he's got going. So the worst he can get is, well, I suppose they did charge him for grand theft, but like, surely.
Other than that,
he just got a slap on the wrist, you know?
Yeah, other than the 10 years he's doing.
Oh,
a slap on the wrist follows that. What do you think of Florida Man's idea? He's like, I'm eyeing up that R2-D2 statue. Are we trusting that he wants his job at security, or does he just want the R2-D2?
Could it not be both, Connor? Can a man not love R2-D2 and protecting and serving?
No.
Okay.
It's one of them.
You have to pick. And I pick R2-D2 every time.
I think he wants R2-D2.
I think so too.
I think when he's there, he's like rationalising it to himself. And he's like, well, this will show weaknesses in the security. So actually, it's a good thing. I'm actually looking out for them.
Maybe one R2 gets stolen, but that'll be the last R2D2
Yeah.
that ever gets stolen from Disneyland.
And what I'll do is I'll apply next week, and sure, then they'll have to give it to me, because, like, they'll put me on watch to watch R2D2.
And then I'll be Obi-Wan Kenobi at that point. and then it's all coming together.
Then it's all coming up Millhouse. Sean, I think that's it for this week's Weird News.
What a week of weird news. Would you like me to take us out, Connor?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Weird News Wednesday. We will be back on Friday with Hero or Zero, Monday with Movie Mondays, and next Wednesday with another episode of Weird News Wednesdays. Big thank you to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. Patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast is the link to that, and it's linked in the description of, well, if that's handier for you. But shout outs, of course, go to Waffles, the marvellous god of thunder and syrup, Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Róisín the wife Palmer, Ryan technically fine Evanson, Shaun Chuck it in the wash and it'll be grand Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah Florida Gal Green, Anna Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky, come stay where the dog men play McGrew, Danny McLaughlin, Ray, the fabulous Frogman, Sam, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Sackman41, Frost and Buster. Thank you all so much for the continued support. You're all absolutely amazing. Head over there if you want to help support the show. There are other ways to do that though. We have our merch store link below, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @heroesforhirepod. The 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Connor Lawler.
I've been Sean Meehan.
I shall see you on next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.